Hi, I'm homosexual Bryan Safi.
Hello, I am feminasty Erin Gibson.
And this is the 700 Club.
Gender issues.
LGBT plus issues.
Pop culture.
I gotta tell you, Erin, we're here. I'm no longer queer. And conversion therapy works. Can
Take
you
away
handle
my
it?
voting rights.
Please.
That's my new Catskills thing. Take away my voting rights, please.
Oh, that's so funny because it's
Isn't
not
it funny?
a joke. Yeah.
I am going to be talking about it this 700th episode.
Thank
now, Bryan,
you. Thank
700 years ago, did you ever think we would be here in this dystopian nightmare?
Absolutely, yes. But I will also say this. I want to give a quick shout out to my friend and mentor, Pat Robertson, who, for those of you who don't know, used to run something called the 700 Club,
Yes.
which was a morning talk show, I guess. It was so boring, I really couldn't.
Very
get through the
lighthearted.
episode. I don't even
Yeah.
think they did coverage. I think
No,
it was
they
just
just
like
said,
one
Oh,
shot
there was a
of three
hurricane.
people.
God spited you.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So shout out to Pat, because honestly, if he hadn't said such annoying things, I probably wouldn't want to do this anyway. So this is really for all the haters
Who
out there.
are we,
Because you've
unless we have
only
something
ever
to fight
motivated
against?
me. Exactly, honey.
Yes.
Exactly. So shout out to
Yes.
Pat. Anyway.
Did you see did you go to the Bernie rally? Were you in LA?
No, I didn't.
I don't know what part of the question you're answering.
I didn't. I had a crazy week. I'm sure the Bernie rally was fun. I don't know that I'm a rally person. I'll be honest. I'm a protest person, but I don't really know that I'm a rally person. I don't really like being in crowds.
It would have
like
been
that.
a good reason. It would just to go see Kindred Spirits and then also Joan Baez.
Yeah. So I do love Joan Baez, but that's another person that
But you
controversial
know, I could
take. I don't need to see live. I don't need to see anyone live except for the Philharmonic.
And you know who I definitely don't need to see live is Neil Young with his I Need a Maid in My Life to Not Pay.
That song.
Yeah.
He does have some beautiful songs.
Human
though.
trafficking.
Sue me.
I already
Heart of
have it. It
Gold.
never sticks.
Yeah, it's true. I have a wonderful legal defense team.
Bryan, what are you doing? Are you aging backwards? What are you're just doing? You got a real glow. I mean, not to talk about your face.
Oh, please, let's talk about it. I have such a face. Every morning I wake up and I see a face. It's hysterical. I mean, when I look in the mirror.
But what are you doing? You doing gua sha? You doing?
Do you want me to drop the routine or not?
Do it.
Well, I did get a facial on Friday, so that's probably why.
What kind of facial?
I went to Heyday.
Oh, yeah.
And because I had some photographs I had to take on Saturday, and so I wanted a little refresh.
Nudes for Grindr?
My nudes. I did my Grindr nudes, professional photos.
Now, what people don't know is that the way Bryan does Grindr is that you get a facial and then you take selfies of your face and your genitals, but then you put the selfie on Grindr, but you replace all of your eyes, nose, and mouth with your genitals.
With my dick.
So
That's
it's a 2-in-1.
It looks like, my face looks like udders. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A human elephant, if you will.
I do.
Where do you put your dick in your mouth? Or do you
where do
your
I
nose?
put my dick in my mouth? Well, I don't. You sicko.
When you replace your facial features with your genitals, where do you put your dick? As your nose? Or do you make two dicks as your eyeballs?
I thought you said that all of it was dicks.
Oh, no, but I would say like you do balls and then a dick, and then I guess you just erase your mouth.
Okay, yeah. That sounds
Or that your
chill.
mouth is a butthole.
Cool. Well, it sort of is. I mean, it's dirtier than one, isn't it? Isn't that what people say?
Yeah, people do say that.
That your mouth
Doctors
is
and
like
lawyers,
the
yeah.
filthiest hole you can imagine.
Math magicians
What is
say it.
this? What you wanted to do today?
Everybody wants it. Nobody wants to think about what's happening, and everybody wants this. Everybody wants it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing for my face.
Oh, I love it.
I got a facial.
You got a facial, and then did they do lasers? Did they do sandpapers? What did they do?
They did. Yeah, they did like a little, because I told them, I was like, please nothing too strong because I have to do these photos tomorrow. I don't want to look, burnt. So they did like a peel, just a mild peel.
Please. Okay. Like a pineapple acid.
Maybe something like that.
Pumpkin seed.
And then they did the red light therapy, and the rest was like, they did a few extractions and a mask, and that was sort of it.
Now, Bryan, have we talked about the men, the light mask The
red light therapy?
You have one of those, right?
I do. You do too.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, I do.
I'm really coming up with nothing for your birthday. I know it's only April.
Yeah.
But I'm coming up with nothing. I know you've got a toothpick lipstick coming my way as soon as, because I know to send it to Canada is probably $500 right now.
You know what, though? I'll look into it because it would be funny to send it to you. And that's what you get for like $125. Oh, I do want to say
you know what you should do is send it to Ale, and then Ale puts it in his contraband in his suitcase when he comes up here, because that's what he's been doing. Yeah.
Great idea. I do want to say that on my birthday this year will be the first preview night of my month-long run at Edinburgh. It's officially happening.
You're doing it.
It's happening, babes. It's happening. I'm very excited.
What month is it?
It's July 30th is the first preview, which is my birthday, and then it runs every night till August 25th. That
is really exciting. And yes. I mean, Edinburgh is every comedian's dream.
I'm so excited. It's a very expensive process, but I'm not in it for the money. I think if I sell out, basically, I'll recoup all my money, maybe a tiny bit.
I didn't know we were going to do accounting right now.
No. Are you kidding me? You don't think I've done this math a million times already in my head? But I'm very excited.
And now we must also.
Exactly. I'm performing at the Underbelly, which is one of the big 4 theaters there. So I'm very excited.
Very exciting. And what did you paid you? I know you were doing some back end mafia stuff.
I sold all of my cookware, and I bleached my. You know what? I sold
mouth anus or your regular anus.
I sold my cookware. I gargled bleach. I did everything that. I mean, essentially, it was your Saw guy basically put me up for a scavenger hunt, and I had to do all these things. It was Into the Woods, but much sicker.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Like sick, like skateboards?
Not like skateboard sick, like nasty.
Are you going to be? Do you have any kind of props or anything you're incorporating into the show just to really appeal to the European sensibility?
The Brits. I know. I was thinking I would chase around girls in bikinis on stage. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, like, that's just the Italian market. Yeah.
No, remember
Berlusconi?
Benny Hill.
Oh, Benny Hill.
I thought I'd do.
They may have moved on from that.
Oh my God. Of course. By the way, the Brits are just like we are, very highbrow and very lowbrow.
Can I recommend a show that Sergio told me about that saved my sanity? It's
LOL.
Yeah. Did we already talk about it?
No, but I keep hearing about it. So I assumed that what it was.
It's so fucking funny. And if you need something that just absolutely is a true escape, no storyline, just people trying to make each other laugh, I highly recommend. I do not recommend, no shade to other countries, any other country.
You know what? Great.
It is the best one. Only the UK.
I hear it's amazing.
Sergio agrees. Yeah.
I hear it's
because
amazing.
It's too mean. Like the British people, the British comedians seem to actually adore each other.
Yeah.
And it feels like friendly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone else is a little bit out to get each other.
Yep, that's fair.
Anyway.
I can understand that. How was your week? Tell me everything.
Oh, I have some very exciting news.
Yeah.
I will have to share my screen, Sergio. And by the way, we should mention all of our lady attorneys are here joining us for our 700th episode. Very exciting.
There's something about a Sunday lady attorney that I actually love. It feels
it's our new church.
It is, and it feels much cozier than when we used to do it.
I have 2 things to share with you. Number 1 is some exciting news that is absolutely boring, which is I got Botox for the first time in my
jaw
for my TMJ.
Oh, sure, Erin. I've heard everything.
I feel like
it wasn't to give your cheeks a little more plumpness.
I don't need any plumpness in my face. Thank you so much. I have bagels to do that for me.
Fair enough.
I have sitting on set all day to do that for me. Thank you so much. Do you know that once a day someone will come over with an entire bowl of candy and hand it to me?
Isn't that nice? I wish someone would do that for me. Give me some robin's eggs. Some robin's eggs.
You love grandpa candy, don't you?
I do. I love the giant jelly beans from Brock's. No kidding. Love that shit.
Yes.
All right. So
and let's not forget our C's Candy coffee chocolate latte popsicle sucker addiction.
God, you nailed it. Yes, I fucking love it. Wait, so you got Botox?
I got Botox in. Okay, so you'll be not shocked that because everyone in the world carries tension in their job, I grind really hard at night. Mm-hmm. And I grind hard during the day, right, ladies?
Is that hysterical?
Yeah.
Sex?
Yeah. I cried when she did it because it was such a release.
Stop.
Yeah. It was, I'm not here to say this is for everybody, but I had been really anti it because she said, why didn't you do this in LA? And I said, I don't trust a practitioner in Los Angeles. I come out with fucking inflatable pool noodle lips. I come out with chipmunk eyes. I come out
because doctors in LA don't, or whatever you want to call them, cosmetologists, whoever is doing those things.
Yes.
They don't want you to stop. All they really want to do is convince you to do more. And so you have to really have self-discipline in those kinds of situations.
Pringles took their slogan from injectors in LA. Once you pop, you can't stop.
There it is.
Once you stick, you can't quit. I cannot take the pressure. I don't want someone breaking down my face in front of me. I don't want it. I don't fucking want it. So I trust the Canadians to be measured, thoughtful, demure, stunning. Also, they're hyper regulated here. They can't do that bullshit. They lose their license. So I did it at this place. I had a buccal massage, which
I have had a buccal massage before. I got
Bryan,
a deep tissue massage.
I think this would really help you.
I got a deep tissue massage once, and he goes, do you want me to do deep tissue on your face? And I was like, that sounds crazy. He was like, it's actually really nice. So he did. It was the best.
But did you cry? Because I cry because I get like a cortisol release. Like I just I just have tears streaming down my face.
No, I didn't cry.
Mm. Oh, yes, I'm a pussy. Is that what you're saying?
No. Yeah, or I'm unfeeling. Which one is it?
Anyway, I got Botox in my jaw, and I had the best night's sleep of my life last night.
God,
I'm not here to proselytize. I'm just saying, like, it was a game changer, and I only did it because I'm in Canada. Catch me never doing this in Los Angeles.
Sure,
ever, unless it's with like an 85-year-old woman who's like, your crow's feet are beautiful.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. If anyone can find an 85-year-old woman who's not shaking, please send her to do my injectables.
Secondly, I wanted to show you this because this is actually a better story than my jaw release. I mean, except for the fact that, like, imagine the blowjobs now. You know what I mean? Free, loose, beautiful, artistic, lyrical.
Beautiful, Erin. Yeah, an ode to blowjobs, sponsored by Botox.
No longer a bear trap. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Botox for TMJ. Your blowjobs will thank you.
Love that.
Okay. Sally Jesse Raphael.
Let me take it in.
Okay.
Let me take it in.
Will you tell people who she is before I get into this?
She was a daytime talk show host. I couldn't even tell you. I remember she did a lot of makeovers.
Adrian, don't ruin it.
I have to tell you.
Her mansion is for sale. I will be showing everyone
it's like
this.
A castle. Okay. But I have to tell you this. She was one of my favorites. I mean, I would say Oprah, Ricky, and Sally were my three.
And she's still wearing red glasses, which congratulations.
In her 90s, looking fantastic, by the way.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. For people who haven't seen, her mansion is up for sale. And I will tell you something. I have never been more shocked at a discordant, outward-facing personality and home decor style. I don't know how this person lives in this place or lived. I guess she's,
selling.
Okay, so this is her mansion. This is in upstate New York. 43
Fabulous.
rooms,
it's like Tudor
5.5.
style.
Tudor.
Yeah.
But have you seen the inside?
No, I only saw that picture.
That's her looking chic as hell. Okay, so colorful glasses, a fucking fierce, incredible, I dare you to ignore me haircut.
Yeah,
okay?
Very Velma, a Velma cut.
She's Velma.
Yeah.
Look. Okay.
She's sort of the redhead
Look
Velma.
At this.
Wow. Look
and
at
who is that
lattice
man?
Work. I have no idea. Wait, who is that man
in the photo?
Painting? Is that Pavarotti?
Tennis sweater.
Oh, God. Who is
one
that?
hand in the pocket? I've
It's
got
either
one
Robert
hand in my pocket,
It's Alanis
and the other
Morissette.
one's gathering my tennis sweater.
I have to say, it's either Robert Goulet or Luciano Pavarotti.
Well, okay, and then next to a very hardcore samurai statue. I'm not sure. I can't really see. And
Antiquity.
But if you look,
oh, it's her husband. Sergio just put up a picture. It's her husband.
Okay.
Who, by the way, if that's not a hairdresser, who is?
Look, may I guide your eye?
Of course.
Please. Look up the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay, traipse up the stairs to the front.
It's a gorgeous staircase, by the way.
Word work. Now go up the stairs even further, and what does mine eye see on the right?
A Ukrainian flag?
I believe that is a hot air balloon.
Oh. I thought it was the Ukrainian flag.
It is the colors
it's yellow and blue.
But I do think it's a hot air balloon.
Oh my God, you're right. It is a hot air balloon. Wow.
Look at this dining room.
She must really love to. You know, can I be honest?
That is a dark, dark room.
No,
for a woman who. You don't think so?
Well, there's a giant floor to ceiling window.
And yet it barely, it's working hard, not smart. You know what I mean?
I have to say, everyone is saying that this looks like the inside of the Titanic. It actually does.
It is. She looks like a German, a 1987 Berlin museum docent.
She looks, this house looks like downstairs people are bidding on young women like in Taken. And Liam Neeson's about to run in there and disrupt the flow.
Yes, this looks like the thing you would place. You would basically location scout this for a thriller.
Man, she must really be one of those people who fetishizes the Downton Abbey-ness of. By the way, I don't like chairs like this set up like this all the time. In other words, like that look like wedding reception, but those are just that have full coverage and also a bow tied in the back. Like that's very wedding. The time and place for that is a wedding. But I will say it's still a pretty room.
Sure. Does it look like Sally Jesse's room? No. Does it look like a woman named Sally Jesse works there and lives there and lives there? Live, laugh, loves there.
It doesn't.
Look at this.
I mean, it's
Bleak
absolutely
House.
Gorgeous.
This looks like Dickensian.
It does. I would never want to live in a place like this, but this is the Gilded Age. Like they would make me uncomfortable to stay in a place like this, but it really is. If this is your style, she did it right.
It's already upstate New York. And now you've brought the darkest part of the worst parts of the weather inside.
I don't like a shiny marble globe. I think you lose all sophistication with that.
Well,
and that's coming from someone who has none. So maybe.
But the style of this decor is, might I have things so expensive and heavy that we could have a Clue situation up in here?
Absolutely. Oh my God. There's so many weapons in here.
So many weapons. That globe, that book on France.
Absolutely.
So many book stacks.
A lot of ways to bludgeon.
So many. Okay. I mean, that's just the window. We can't help that. I just am like, what?
This is very English countryside. This is like very Cotswolds.
Depressing.
Yeah, it would drive me crazy. I would feel
That's
trapped.
Fine.
But it's gorgeous. Are you kidding?
Where's the bright red? There's not a thing with bright red in it. I don't get it.
Does she have a glasses room? Does she have a room where she could show off all her frames?
I'd love to see it. I have another. Wait, you want to see?
It's very nice.
All of that opulence. Okay.
Yeah.
And yet, look at this. Look at this. Do you see, if you go front and, or maybe this is the back porch, above the back porch to the right, do you see something in a window?
There's a window unit. That is shocking. Because we're not actually
$6 million house and you have a window cottage. Unit?
Like this was probably a new build. That is shocking. That's wild.
Anyway, I think your home should reflect your personality. Bryan loves to be tied in knots. That's why all of his pillows have texture and braiding. Okay.
That's true. You can see right here.
It should be poetically reflecting your existence.
Like Sally used to do makeovers, so she should really have a room that's very punk next to a room that's very, you know what I mean, preppy.
Yes.
That's the Polo Club. You know what I mean?
I don't understand. Walton Goggins had like by the way, I can we call him Walter? I don't like his name.
Oh, I kind of do.
he's a Walter and he's trying to fool the world is what I think.
You know what? That's fair too.
He did like a Vogue home tour, Architectural Digest or something. Sure. And he also has a lot of like really dark woods and stuff. I don't understand that as like, there's a thing in people's minds when they get money. They're like, you know what I need? Mahogany.
It's so true. Because it's very luxurious.
But it's bleak as hell.
In the meantime, Erin, how's your concrete wall and plastic plant?
I got my clear wine.
Oh, so yes, your water, your Italian water.
Except for the morning. I've got my sweatshirt. This is Jazz. I'm ready to go. How about you, Bryan? Are we getting,
I don't know if this person wants me to say their name, but someone in the chat, one of our lady attorneys said, I had a hookup asked to be tied up with neckties and became very aware that I don't really know knots. That is so stressful. If people want you to tie neckties on them, that really takes you out of it quickly. Because it's not that easy to tie a tie on someone else. Not to mention even on yourself. If someone has a fetish
of being tied up, they need to have the appropriate equipment.
Rope, for instance, or handcuffs or whatever.
Are these expensive? Are these Hugo Boss ties?
Right,
are
is
these
Yves Saint Laurent? Like, what are we doing?
Like, are they silk? Like, what is it?
Gucci bee sting tie, which I saw recently.
Mm-hmm. How was it?
It was cute. You know?
Can you tie me up with these cute ties?
Yeah. Hey, can you tie me up and do it real? Hey, will you tie me up and make it cute?
I can only get a boner when I'm tied up real cute.
The only time I would ever be tied up is with silk bows.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Ribbons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love to be, my bondage style is leftover Christmas wrapping paper.
Absolutely.
Patched up,
Instead of like
upcycling.
Eye covers, like instead of like an eye mask, I just want a really low bonnet.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I love it. That holds all your hair in the back, but has a really wide brim in the front.
Yes.
Yes, I love it.
See?
Oh, I love it. And what about the bottoms?
Oh, honey, they love me. Really, truly kill me. Like, that's it. I'm going to jump off my balcony today. Oh, on the bottoms? No, pantaloons.
Oh, you mean like Newsies style?
Yes, except I have pantaloonies, which is different Looney Tunes characters on my pantaloons.
Are they full bleed or is it like a bunch of pattern?
No, full bleed.
Oh, good. So it's just one big Taz.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, I love this. Hubba Hubba indeed, Bryan.
Thank you.
By
the way, speaking of Hubba Hubba, we have quite a show today.
We really do. 700th episode. We have a Vault episode 86 coming out live at the Empty Bottle in Chicago. I think that was our first live show.
It wasn't our first live show, but it was in Chicago for sure. And I remember it being the first one that felt really, I'm going to just say it. It really felt like we had something special. That was the show I remember thinking, this is all clicked in.
Yeah.
People were so excited. It was so crowded. And I remember and I bet looking back, we might even think that venue wasn't that big. But on that day and in that moment, I remember being overwhelmed by the response we received. And
I've been very hesitant to get back on stage because I just don't have my sea legs these days.
Sure.
But I'm feeling more and more like we have to do it.
My God, Erin, why don't you just go watch anyone perform any night of the week and you'll realize, oh no, my sea legs are firmly on.
What does that mean?
It means that there are so many bad performers out there. You've never even come close to being like a bad performer. I mean, if you don't like performing live, that's one thing. Yeah.
You've never come close to being a bad performer, but you are miles away from a good one.
Not true.
That's the kind of leadership I need in order to thrive,
Please. All right. So we have that.
Oh, live groceries episode. See, this is what I think. If we do a live groceries, and I love talking about, fucking logistics on the podcast. But if we did a live groceries episode and integrated politics, but it was more like just a fun time.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I love it. By the way, we also, in that Empty Bottle show, we're releasing that episode on the Patreon. There's a very old one. We also, that was on that DOMA, we talk about DOMA being overturned, much nicer days. Plus, I tell everyone about Natalie Wood burning her vagina in that bathtub during Would You Rather, when we used to play Would You Rather with the audience, which she did. She Dennis Hopper, and James
Spader?
Dean. No, close. filled a bathtub with champagne and then got in it and she burned herself.
Well, champagne used to be absolutely toxic back in the day.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a new Dateline this week.
I can't wait. Bryan, tell us all about it.
It's called Poison Twist. A married couple.
That's my favorite drink.
Me too. I'll have the Poison Twist. It's just a bottle of poison perfume
by Christian Dior. Yes.
With a lemon wedge. Delicious.
Honestly, the perfume is not far off from being that anyway.
It's true. A married couple, both chiropractors. Maybe they would do my deep facial tissue massage. 3 sisters, 3 wigs, horse girls, and dirty passenger seats. It's all on this week's Dateline.
Why would you put horse girls and dirty passenger seats together? Are you connecting those two things? Okay,
No.
Don't answer that.
No, it was not connected. It was.
I think horse girls deserve better in this world.
I'm not digging on horse girls. I think they're great.
Let's keep it that way. Okay.
You can also buy individual episodes of Dateline recaps and this new thing we're doing without subscribing to the Patreon for $3 each. But you should subscribe. Patreon.com/attitudes. Also on YouTube, you can get the first act of our video episodes every week for free. And it's easy because you can just find us by searching Attitudes Pod.
Now, Sergio has done something, and I'm not sure what it is, but it's a surprise for our 700th episode. And I'm to play it now. Would you like to see it?
And Sergio refused to send me the video because he knew I wouldn't wait. I would play it immediately.
Yes.
And he was right.
And that's when I called Bryan my homosexual, heterosexual husband.
That's right. Thank you, Emily.
Okay, here we go. Share sound. Is everybody ready? I know everyone's mic is muted.
I have no idea what this is. It an hour and 6 minutes?
Hi, TT. Hi, Bryan. I know what you're thinking. And yes, my bangs look great. But I just wanted to tell you congratulations.
Oh my
700 episodes. Holy beep. That's a lot.
We can curse on this podcast.
Worked really hard on this show for a really long time. And I am so proud of both of you. You're smart and funny and also hot, which is the most important.
We love Allison Becker.
Congratulations.
Wow. I can't believe it.
Happy 700 Fs. I've sent you a care package filled with frappiato macchiatos and wigs that you can spin backwards. I hope you enjoy.
Tom Lane.
What began as listening
Danielle,
to
Chrissa.
Dateline recaps in the car ended in a hot tub in Santa Fe.
I took Danielle to his hot tub.
You did?
Anyway, I just wanted to say that you guys are amazing. And as the jealous curator, I am in fact jealous of you guys for being so hilarious.
I
and
can't believe
talented.
any of this.
And to watch you guys for 700 episodes has been crazy. And keep on going.
Wow.
I love you.
Hey, Erin and Bryan, congrats on your 700th
Daniel
show.
Franzese.
It's me, Danny Franzese. Hey, what's up? You could always sit with me. I just love you guys. You make me laugh. I think you guys are an important part of my audio life. So thank you so much.
Wow.
Erin, Bryan,
Ah,
it's your girl.
we love
Jackie
you.
J. Oh my God, I'm so honored to congratulate you on 700 episodes of Attitudes. It's such an accomplishment.
she's the
Y'all are
greatest.
such OGs in the podcast space. You've been such an inspiration to me. And I'm an avid listener. I have a full-blown parasocial relationship with both of you, even though I know you in real life. And that, my friends, is the power of what you do and the power of podcasting. So congratulations to 700 episodes. And I hope you do at least 700 more. I'll be listening. And I love
you,
groceries
girl.
too.
Hi guys. Here's a video of me looking like absolute garbage, so I thought that would make you feel better. But more importantly, happy 700 episodes. So fucking exciting. I love you guys.
I love you.
Erin Gibson.
Oh,
Bryan
yes.
Shopping.
Sam Pancake.
I love Attitudes and I love you. Got a favor for you. Will you adopt me? My parents are dead and I need new ones. Well, my mother's still alive, but it won't be long. Anyway, they didn't like me very much, but I love you. And I think you love me. So let's make a
we
deal
love you.
because I want to be happy today.
Gorgeous.
Happy anniversary, y'all. 700. Same as my age.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? 700 episodes?
You're so cute.
Erin, I'm so proud of you. I was telling Bryan, I'm still laughing. Oh, you guys talking about guys jerking off in their socks into the sink. And I still want to see the drawing that Erin did. There was like a stick figure drawing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That somebody had like done for Erin, and I need to see what it is.
Oh, my college roommate. I'll have it recreated.
Congratulations! 700 episodes. That's awesome.
Hi, Erin and Bryan. It's me.
Oh my God, Dave Holmes.
Pop star. I like to sing and dance. It's so much fun. But my favorite thing is attitudes. Happy 700th episode. Pop Mart, Robo Shop. I don't mind if I do.
I love him.
Hi, Erin and Bryan.
Oh my God.
And I just want to say congratulations.
Gorgeous.
On 700 episodes of Attitude.
That haircut is stunning.
Two inspirations.
She did it herself.
I love you. Everybody adores you. And here's to 700 more.
Bryan and Erin.
Ross Matthews.
700 episodes. Congratulations. You know, it is so hard to have anything worth saying these days. And the fact that you have managed to give people 700 episodes of delicious, hilarious,
I can't believe this.
Entertaining content is really a testament to how entertaining, hilarious, kind,
what a
and
gentleman.
engaging you both are. Congratulations. I know how hard this is, and I am just thrilled for you. Keep going. Don't stop. We need you now more than ever.
We love you.
More. All my love.
Mabel looks unimpressed, but we are very impressed.
Naomi!
Erin, you are life-affirming. You are life-giving. I almost hit a pole, and you know what? That's a risk I'm willing to take for y'all. You're the best. Congratulations on... Honestly,
I can't believe this, Sergio.
Not just a podcast, but an institution, okay? It's iconography. It serves the people. You will always be the whitest people I know and the whitest people I trust.
Hello, Attitudes.
Yes, Jinx Monsoon.
Me, Jinx Monsoon, your avid fan and favorite friend.
Yes.
I want to congratulate you on 700 episodes. I'll never forget 700. It was a wonderful year. You're going to love it.
Congrats on
Lauren
700 episodes.
Oh, man.
I love you guys. I think you're amazing. And I think
love
the
you.
podcast is amazing. And I love everything about it. I really just, I could only be better if I were listening every single week inside of a giant high heel. So if there's any way like that'd be great. But otherwise, I just want to say keep up the good work. I'm so proud of you. Happy to know you.
I love you.
Hey, Bryan and
My
Erin,
God!
Paulette Tompkins. Remember the days when we used to see each other in the hallways at the old studio? Good times.
What's happening?
I just want to say congratulations on whatever occasion this is. Sergio told me and I forgot. Love you guys. Hope to see you soon.
Wow!
Sergio, you're the best for putting that together.
Oh my fucking God. Incredible. By the way, Sergio.
That felt so uncomfortable.
It did at the beginning, and then I kept, for some reason, I felt like they were live. There were a couple of times where I was like answering and I meant it.
I have one last, if you want, an audio submission from Wendy McClendon.
Of course.
Oh, yes, of course.
I just got to share my computer audio.
Sergio, what would we do without you? That was unbelievable.
How will I live without
700 episodes. Well, I couldn't be more prouder to even know you. In fact, I've been saving up my Kohl's cash, and I'm going to give it to you guys so you can buy something pretty.
Oh, my
God.
God.
Don't say no, and don't nod your head no. You're going to take it because you deserve it. Yeah, you do. Love to you from Wendy McClendon Covey. Mwah.
Mwah.
Wow, Sergio, what a treat.
Wow. Sergio, and nobody was the wiser. Nobody texted me and was like, hey, Sergio asked me to do this thing.
No, that was unbelievable. Now I feel like, clearly, Sergio, speaking of Poison Twist, are we both going to die tonight?
Oh, yeah, this is what you do. It's the...
It felt... that was our memorial service. Wow, Sergio, I'm so moved. And thank you to everyone who participated in that. I'm overwhelmed. Really. That was gorgeous.
Should we do what we always do and get into some shoes?
Let's do it. I also want to quickly mention there's no way we could have done these 700 episodes obviously, without this community here, everyone, and also very much our lady attorneys too, who really like, I feel like a ride or die. And I hope you know we are with you as well. But to everyone listening to the show, it just couldn't have happened without you. And a few other key people, including Sergio, including Earwolf, including Maximum Fun, including Harper Steele, including, many others. Sam Kiefer. So we appreciate that. I guess Jeffrey
I think it could have happened without you and I, Bryan. But I think those other people, I think you can just pop anyone down in these chairs.
That's right.
You know?
And I also want to thank Jeffrey Self for participating in that video. Well, Erin.
Yeah, I did notice. I think, you know what we do? We don't say thank you to the people who did it. We send very poignant text messages to
every
the people
week.
Who
we're going to highlight
it.
Someone who did not participate. Good news coming out of the USAF. We love it. The Air Force, Erin.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Which, by the way, as a kid,
I got the first three letters.
You got USA, sure. My favorite sweatshirt as a kid was an Air Force sweatshirt, legitimately.
Because?
It had a Roadrunner on it, and it had like sunset colors in the back. And I had it from the age of like 8 to 12, and I wore it almost every day.
It was a Southwestern inspired Air Force shirt.
And it had a Roadrunner on it.
Is El Paso a place for the like a base?
I was in Colorado. I mean, not by myself. That would have been child abuse. But I went to family.
Or emancipation.
One of the two.
Yeah.
I went with my family to Colorado, and I remember it's somewhere in Colorado is where the Air Force is based. This could all be
There's
a lie.
no fucking Roadrunners in Colorado.
It might have been an eagle. I can't tell which. I don't remember.
Okay.
It was a bird. Back then, when you're 12 years old.
Birds are birds.
When you're 12 years old, you don't know the difference between a
birds
Roadrunner
are birds.
or an
yeah.
eagle.
You don't know the difference between a fucking swallow and a blue jay, a fucking speckled belly robin. Yeah, no. You don't know.
Between the difference between a refrigerator and a wall. You don't know. You know what I mean? You're only 12.
Yeah. You're scared of cars because you think they drive themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now they do. So the Air Force has actually done something pretty surprising. I'll give you a little bit of history here. We had talked about this briefly before on one of the episodes where one of Trump's many executive orders was to ban, in this full anti-trans, anti-pronoun, anti-everything executive order rush and flood that he's given us. But one of those executive orders was to ban and eliminate the use of pronouns in federal communications. So in other words, you couldn't sign it, what your preferred pronouns were, couldn't be in your signature. You couldn't mention if you were...
Like what I have on my Zoom right now.
Correct.
Not appropriate. Yeah.
Not appropriate. Because according to the Trump administration, that promoted gender ideology. And that's a quote. And that's meant certainly in the Russia way, where in Russia, they say propaganda, but it means don't even think about wearing any pink unless you're a cishet girl, because we might arrest you for it.
Yeah.
So gender ideology became anything except cishet man, cishet woman. Well, the Air Force has reversed that ban from that executive order on employees sharing the pronouns in communication. The Air Force did some digging, which is hilarious since they're airborne and not on the ground. So
yeah, they should
do some flighting.
Yeah, explore the latitudes.
Friendly skies. The Air Force explored some latitudes and realized...
I have a shirt on under this.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you're changing.
I just got hot. I got hot when you talk about the Air Force. It gets fucking activated.
Well, you never know what the temperature is going to be on a plane. Do you know what I mean? The Air Force. Oh, okay. Let me know when you're ready for me to continue.
I'm sorry, I was overheating because I have so much Botox in my jaw.
Yeah. Okay. So the Air Force did some digging and realized that in 2023, there was a law on the books from the Department of Defense that prohibits the DoD from requiring or banning the use of gender or pronouns in official correspondence, meaning the Defense Department is not allowed to ban gender pronouns, and they're also not allowed to require gender pronouns. Essentially, you do whatever you want to do when it comes to pronouns.
Great.
And that was a law from 2023.
Mind your own goddamn business.
Right. So the Air Force has brought up in a memo that law saying we're not going to require people to, we're not going to tell people they cannot use pronouns in communications. Like they can. And that is from a law that the Department of Defense gave us in 2023. Also, the Air Force memo that came out about that also clarified that service members who have changed their gender markers will not be forced to wear uniforms or use facilities that don't match their gender identity. And that's mainly because Trump's executive order is like tied up in the court system right now. So the Air Force has said, we're just not going to enforce that. It's a small victory because despite lifting the pronoun ban, the Air Force still has to end, like, they still have to do other things from Trump's executive ban, like end programs and public materials that promote gender identity. They have to remove the word gender from application forms. So they still have to do those things, but at least they took the time to look at some fine print here, which is way more than even people in the private sector, even companies in the private sector are doing. Not to mention hospitals, not to mention, you know what I mean, who are in charge and responsible for gender affirming care, who are, you know, basically just giving up before there's even a fight. Like at least the Air Force took the time to look at what they could do here.
If you're a student of history and you look at what happened during Nazi Germany, when the universities caved and they said, oh, we can work with them and the corporations, like, it doesn't work like that.
No.
Like the minute you acquiesce, you lose.
Exactly. So, if no word yet on whether other military branches are going to follow this reversal, because this was not specific to the Air Force. This provision from the Department of Defense in something called the National Defense Authorization Act applies to all branches of the U.S. military. So really, the Army, Navy, everyone could reverse this, but the Air Force is the first to do it. So hopefully the others also do this, because what that law said, or I guess I don't know what you want to call it, that act said, is that the defense can't require or prohibit any military member or civilian Department of Defense employee from identifying their gender or personal pronouns. So hopefully the other ones follow suit. In another bit of interesting news, that's the worst word I can use for news. Interesting? Who cares? I mean, it could mean anything.
How about, is it good or bad?
It's good. It could, let me put it this way. It could be good.
This just in a cortisol boost?
Sure, fair enough. That's
also bad.
There is proposed legislation in Norway. You know Norway. Cold, northern, liberal.
Sexy people.
Rich.
Yeah. People who just don't they're unwavering eye contact.
And they refuse to socialize. They don't like small talk there. They think it's invasive.
Yeah. And they also make snow pizza. I believe that's there, or Sweden.
Well, you have to have some fun in the wintertime. I mean, in 6 months, you're basically in darkness.
But do you know what snow pizza is?
No.
Where you throw up in the snow. Just talk to these Nordic people. Or you think the Brits are filthy? Talk to those people.
They have vitamin D water in those places too, because they get no vitamin D. So they have to take it in their water.
I got a strong flow of vitamin D, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, just tons of dick. Yeah. It's cool.
Says a person in a basement.
Drinking, I don't even know what. Ice wine.
Morning wine.
There you go.
Morning wine. It's
Everyone
water.
relax.
Can you believe it?
I can't believe that's okay. So there's a proposal in Norway to grant trans Americans asylum in Norway. And I bet this won't be the first country to do it.
That's rad. I mean, not rad that anybody has to seek asylum, but like that other countries are stepping up.
Well, I'll tell you who exactly is stepping up is the very first trans member of parliament in Norway, because, I mean, yeah, that's what can happen when you elect different sorts of people into your parliament, and people who are especially underrepresented, that you give them a voice. So Karina Odegaard is her name, and she is she's going to become the first trans member of parliament. And she told a Norwegian paper there that what is happening to U.S. trans people in the United States is very similar to the persecution that was experienced by marginalized groups in pre-war Germany in the early 1930s and mid-1930s. The Green Party of Norway supports this proposal of granting trans Americans asylum in Norway. And Karina said in defense of this, what would we have done in the 1930s if we knew what was about to happen? Well, that's where we are now. We have to act. She said that in contrast to the US, the healthcare in Norway, the Norwegian healthcare system, has really helped her to be herself. She said one thing is that you see in the US, the development of an illiberal democracy. I find that extremely problematic. Then it gets even worse because the Trump administration has singled out trans people as scapegoats, which we know very well. Norway is a very impressive place in that same-sex activity has been legal there since 1972, which is unfathomable here because many states, especially in the South, still have sodomy laws on the books. So those have been off the books since 1972 there. It's 2025 here, and many states still have them on the books. Norway has long been considered a very queer-friendly country. It was one of the first countries, get this, to pass an anti-discrimination law that included sexual orientation, and they did it in 1981. Unreal.
Why did Tom come out of Finland then?
He had to.
Oh.
I mean, he was born there, I guess. I don't need to tell you that same-sex marriage and adoption is legal there. They also have laws that prohibit housing discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation. You're permitted to self-ID there, which basically means if you change your gender, that trans citizens there only have to send like a quick check-a-box notification. They can self-ID, which is wonderful.
You don't have to basically start a corporate articles of incorporation to change your fucking name.
Exactly. And hate speech can be criminalized. Hate speech against marginalized people, including LGBTQ plus people, can be penalized with up to 3 years in prison for inciting violence in that way. Now, look, there are downsides too. The cost of living in Norway is very high, but what shocked me is did you know that when they say...
Do you know the cost of living in America is very high also?
I'll be honest, I'm a real idiot. And of course I know that. But when you hear about countries like Norway, Finland, Sweden, Japan, these places that have these very progressive laws, but also you hear it's so expensive, it's so expensive. It is literally as expensive there as it is here.
Because if you're on Cobra and you're paying $2,000 a month for fucking healthcare.
Well, and that's the thing is when you factor in healthcare, childcare, all of these things that are free there,
social safety nets,
all of it, that those things are much more affordable in Norway. Even housing is more affordable in Norway. In some of the large cities, I think you have a shortage. But the downside is it is Norway, you know?
Did you see what Atlanta said? The government does your taxes for you. Yeah, you don't do
your taxes. Yeah. Listen, if it weren't freezing and dark most of the time, I mean, in the summer, it's absolutely gorgeous. You have the fjords, you have all these other things.
And you probably appreciate the summer, not like in LA where you're like, oh, fucking another day of sunshine.
I will say this. I think it is very difficult to be an expat in any country from the research I did. Norway, obviously, is everyone speaks English there, but it's very difficult to get hired there if you don't speak Norwegian also. It's like part of their bag.
I would rather learn a new language than feel like an enemy in my own country. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's an interesting proposal. I think more countries should do it.
My hairdresser came from France to LA, learned English in 1 year watching rom-coms. So you just grab the Norwegian rom-coms from the 80s and 90s and you hop to.
Is that why he wears really high boots and a tiny jean skirt connected to a very white bodysuit with a short blonde wig and hangs out on Hollywood Boulevard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And every time he watches Seinfeld, he gets very nervous because, George Costanza is the enemy in that film. And he has a very negative association with George Costanza.
We don't talk about it enough, how excellent Jason Alexander is in that movie.
He is such a slimeball.
You believe every moment of it.
Because
Pretty Woman, everybody.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Pretty Woman.
Yes. All right.
The government, as far as I'm concerned right now, is Olean. They're promising we're going to lose weight, but we're still going to get to eat our chips. Okay. But what they don't tell us is that we're going to be suffering from chronic oily diarrhea and they're going to get rich off of it. This is happening. I mean, it's fascism,
Beautiful.
but it's also Olean.
I understand.
And the newest in their chip lineup is the SAVE Act, which is not saving a goddamn thing except for the jobs of the shit people in power so that they never get voted out of power. The bill wants you to bring, I guess it's, what does it stand for? It stands for like, I don't know what it stands for. Save a fucking villain. Everyone. The bill wants you to bring your entire file folder that you have in case of a fire to federal elections to prove that you are a citizen. Okay. In-person citizen requirements for federal elections. New Mexico and California, 2 states I've voted in the last 20 years, do not have those requirements. You walk up, you say your address, they give you a fucking voting form, and you're done.
Right.
Now, so they want you to bring proof. That proof is a passport or a real ID, which generally doesn't demonstrate proof of citizenship. So in that case, you have to also bring a certified birth certificate, a physical birth certificate.
This is insanity.
With the state seal embossed on it. By the way, I have spoken to my nephew who is 25. I said, do you have a physical birth certificate? And he said, no, I don't need one because I can just get one electronically. I said, this is not the time for that. You need to have all of your paperwork on hand at this moment. These motherfuckers are clowns. They're going to clown around with this shit.
It's worth noting, by the way, they put in the chat the 4 Democrats who also.
Oh, I'm going to talk about these motherfuckers.
Okay, good. Okay,
oh, I'm going to talk about these motherfuckers.
Okay.
You better fucking believe I'm going to talk about these motherfuckers.
Good.
So what happens if you don't have a physical birth certificate on hand and just a real ID and not a passport, which, by the way, half of Americans do not have a passport.
Right.
Okay. But what also you need to have is your birth certificate has to match your ID name. So what happens if you are a married woman who took your husband's last name?
What?
Or a trans person? And
that
you
is
aren't
psychotic. So they expect you to have the same name on your birth certificate as your ID?
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
What? That really only applies to, like, I don't even know, cis men?
And me. I don't take other people.
I mean, I get
names.
right, but I would say, like, I don't know.
But if my last name was Booger, you know what I mean? Like, the only way I would change my last name as a cis het lady is if my last name was Booger or like diarrhea or butthole hair or whatever. And then
I guess my point is this is clearly very sexist and very transphobic.
Yeah, but they're saying like, no, married women are going to get to vote. I don't fucking buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking buy it. Okay. There's 70 million married women in the US who use their husband's name. They're instantly not able to vote on voting day. Now, outside of my wild fantasies of what will happen to these goons in charge, we have to right now. This is going to pass. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's going to pass, and they're going to say, no, married women are going to get a vote. And then it's going to be fucking chaos during the federal elections. I just want to point out that the GOP is fucking a dick pig for these voter fraud stats, which don't even exist. They're all doing this under voter fraud because they can't even believe that no one would choose them, despite the fact that fraud, quote unquote fraud, in American elections are clerical errors, bad data matching practices, and even those happen 0.0003 to 0.0025% of the time. That's percentage. That's not the actual decimal.
Not to mention, isn't it like unconstitutional to have a tax on voting? I mean, like,
yes,
that's what this is.
It's basically get this document,
which
it's going to cost you $175.
So you have to pay to vote.
Yes, you have to pay to vote. According to, and by the way, talk about like Norway doing your taxes. I'm sorry. If the government wants me to pay my fucking taxes, shouldn't they have me as a fucking citizen? Why is this my burden?
Totally.
But you shouldn't have to fucking prove it anyway. If you are paying taxes in this country and you're contributing to this country, you should get to vote, period. We didn't want it when we were breaking away from England. Why the fuck do we want it now? It's all about control. It's all about staying into power. According to a report by NYU Law, an American is more likely to be struck by lightning than to commit voter fraud. That is how unlikely it is to happen. This is I guess the mantra of the GOP is if it ain't broke, dismantle it.
Sure.
They're creating the fucking narrative in their minds as a back end to get what they want. And it's and as Sergio said, it's not just Republicans who voted for this bill. Democrats, Jared Golden from Maine, Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez from Washington, Harry Cuellar,
maybe?
Cuellar, yes, thank you, from Texas, Ed Case, a white guy from Hawaii, all voted for this bill. So y'all can fucking hit the fucking bricks. You can, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Okay?
Okay.
GTFO, as far as I'm concerned. I will say this, the government is not coming to save us. If you think that the Democrats can do shit about this, they can't. They're not able to. Here is going to be the way forward. People, students, unions. Do you know how many people it takes to topple a regime, a corrupt regime? 3.5% of the population.
Really?
That's all of LA and all of New York, and that's fucking it. If you can collectively do economic blackouts, stop transportation, stop commerce in these cities, grind this shit to a fucking halt, that is what is going to move the needle. I love AOC. I love Bernie Sanders. I love what they stand for. If they can mobilize this 3.5% to make a move, great. I don't know what, I'm sorry, I don't want to sound bleak, but I don't know what the fucking Democrats can do. They do not have power right now. They can filibuster, they can do certain things. I'm not saying they should stop trying, but
yeah, there are a few who really are trying, which is encouraging, but it just doesn't seem like there's enough of them, and people are scared. And this is my opinion on this shit, but with career politicians specifically. If you're scared of the current government and you're afraid to stick your neck out and go against them, you should not be there. Resign from your job because you're not doing what you promised to do, which is to represent your constituents. You're not doing it. So instead of making a full career out of this bullshit, if you're afraid to jump into the fire against someone you disagree with, you're in the wrong line of work, okay? Go somewhere else and be told what to do.
Yes.
But that's not the place for it.
We need leaders right now, and leaders who can activate people to work in a collective way. Not a bunch of people being like, we're doing this over here, we're doing this over here. Like, there has to be a movement. And I really do. If you look at how regimes, look at what's happening in Argentina right now. 3 days ago, because of austerity fucking rollbacks where they cut retirees' pension, people who have worked their entire lives and they fucking robbed, they took from those people. Argentina shut down, Buenos Aires shut down the entire transit system. It brought the fucking city to its knees.
Yeah.
This is what we need.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We have to hit them where it hurts in the pocketbook. Rich people need to fucking suffer right now, and they need to know that they're not going to get away with this shit. And it's not going to be because Cory Booker's doing a filibuster. I'm really sorry. And I'm not saying they should stop. Again, I'm not saying they should stop, but
yeah, he was really excellent, I have to say.
It's on us.
Yeah. We want to thank our lady attorneys again for being here. By the way, Vicky, you brought up a good point that Norway is not all good. Racism, I'm sure, exists there. Extremism, I'm sure, exists there. At this point, it feels like we're just picking poison, but whatever. But it's a good point.
Pobity nurpicked. That's the problem.
Pobity nurtpicked? What is that?
Hobity Nerpict. It's nobody's
Is that a comedian?
perfect. Oh. It's a t-shirt from the 90s that's supposed to say nobody's perfect, but you get it.
Hobody's
Hobity Nerpict.
Hobody's nerfect.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's my joke that I use to grind things to a halt.
Got it.
And as we see, it works.
Okay, well, let's end the show.